Hey guys, it's Holly. I have tried to film this video like a couple times over the past few days, and I just, everything kept messing up one way or another. So we're gonna try this again for the third time. So today I wanted to talk about intermittent fasting. And so I want to talk about a little bit about what it is and how it can be beneficial, how it's not necessarily good for everybody, and just kind of go from there. So intermittent fasting essentially is basically where you just simply don't eat and you don't consume calories for a period of time throughout your day in your 24-hour period. So let's say, for example, you are doing like a 12-hour fast. So let's say you stop eating at 8 p.m. and you start eating again the next morning at 8 a.m. So that would be an example of a 12 and 12 intermittent fasting. So it's different for everyone, but generally speaking, it's going to be anywhere from a 12-hour fast to a 23-hour fast. So most people will do the 12-12, or they will do like a 16-8, which is where you are not eating for 16 hours out of a day, and you're eating for only about 8 hours during a day. So when you are fasting, you are still technically allowed to have like no calorie drinks like black coffee, unsweetened tea, things like that. You can have something like a sparkling water that doesn't have any calories in it, something like that. So you can still have electrolytes, and it's really important you do want to replace your electrolytes. So there are other types of intermittent fasting. Some people will do like a 14-hour fast and then they will eat for 10 hours. So really it's your own thing. And I recommend for people, if you're just starting out, and if you're someone that's used to eating like first thing before you go to bed and first thing when you wake up in the morning, that was how I used to be. So if that is how you are, I highly recommend just starting out, depending on how long you sleep. Some people like me don't sleep that long. So for me, I started out just doing like 8 to 9 hours of intermittent fasting, and then fasting, and then I worked my way up to 10. And then within about a week, I was able to do 12. So I'm currently doing 12 to 13 almost every single day. So every day is a little bit different. I don't intermittent fast every single day, but most days I do. I'd say about 95% of the time I do currently. And the reason I started doing it was to help with my blood sugar regulation and to help with my metabolic flexibility and see if it would help me lose some weight. So as for my personal experience, I've been doing this for a couple of months, and I have noticed right off the bat, I did lose 5 or 6 pounds within at least the first week and a half of doing the intermittent fasting. And so I was really impressed with that. And I was doing that in conjunction with a few other things as well. But I definitely saw that the intermittent fasting helped me immediately. However, other than that, I didn't notice much else. And the weight did come back really quickly after that point. So after a couple of weeks, the weight had already come back within 2 to 3 weeks for sure, I'd say. So unfortunately, that has been my experience. However, I am still doing the intermittent fasting. I do still feel like it helps me, and I do still feel like it helps my stomach at least to stay a little bit more shrunk, if that makes sense, and just a little bit flatter than it would if I did not do the intermittent fasting. So do I feel like this is something I will consider doing long term? Maybe here and there, yes. Very long term, no. I don't think this is something I'm always going to do. I think this is something I would like to do in phases, and I think it's really the same for most people, as for my recommendation, but it depends on everyone in their own personal situation. So as for some of the benefits that can come with intermittent fasting, there are quite a few. So first and foremost, most people will start doing it in terms of helping with weight loss. And then secondly, a lot of people will do it to aid with things like insulin sensitivity, insulin resistance, improving your insulin sensitivity, and things like pre-diabetes if you're type 2 diabetic. But you always want to check with your doctor first. You do not want to, anytime you start a new diet or lifestyle or anything like that, you always want to talk to your doctor first. Always remember, guys, that I am not a doctor. I'm not even a dietitian or a nutritionist. I don't have any of those kinds of licenses, but I just know what I know. I've experienced what I've experienced, and I've worked with a lot of other people. I am a holistic health professional, and these are just the things that I like to put out there and my opinions. So anyways, I give you the information that I have, but I think intermittent fasting can be very beneficial for many people, you know, and really for everyone for the most part. I mean, it won't be right for every single person because everybody is vastly different. So some of us just can't go as long without eating, and that is okay. And so me, for example, I know that the odds of me ever getting to the point where I am able to do like a 16-8 fast are very, very slim, and that's just the way my body is. That's just how I am, and that is okay. So with that being said, intermittent fasting also helps with what is called autophagy. So autophagy is essentially your body's healing process, like regeneration process. And so it's where your cells will regenerate faster when you are fasting. Your body processes kind of like speed up, and it allows time for the body to heal within your digestion as well as just all of your cells. And so it's a little bit hard for me to explain because I'm still actually looking into it, because autophagy is something I am new to and I still have some research to do. So I do want to put that out there though, that the fasting does help with accelerating your healing processes in the body, which is very important. So this is going to be good for you on a physical level. It's going to be great for you on a cosmetic level as well, because it's going to help your skin clear up and just help with, you know, overall collagen production, etc. So when it comes to intermittent fasting, I've listed out some of the benefits. Okay, so we have autophagy, we have insulin regulation, blood sugar regulation, insulin sensitivity improvement, pre-diabetes, type 2 diabetes. So what else do we have? Weight loss. And those are really just the main basic ones, but there are a lot more, so you can do your own research. But like I say, I don't think it's right for everybody all the time, and I don't think that it's something that even I personally will always do. So it's just at this point in my life right now, I am doing it and continuing to do it. But you know, if at any point I start seeing like I'm not seeing the benefit anymore, then I will definitely obviously just give it a break and come back to it at a later point in time. So, and I did that a few weeks ago. I did go about 2 or 3 days without intermittent fasting, and then I came back to it. So it just depends on you. It depends on your lifestyle and what you want to do. So let's see if there's anything else I want to add to this. Like I say, talk to your doctor, especially if you've never done intermittent fasting before. And it's something that it's been a topic of discussion more so in recent times. Intermittent fasting has gained a whole lot of popularity, and I will say I will do a separate video on different types of fasting, but for the sake of this video, I'm just addressing intermittent fasting, which again is basically just going for a period of time in your day when you are not eating. And so the last thing I will mention in this video is that when you're doing your fasting, you can opt for what is called a bulletproof fast, which basically means like when you wake up in the morning and you feel like you just can't go without having something, you know, you can have like not necessarily just black coffee like you would regularly without any calorie consumption, but you can actually have what is called a bulletproof fast, which is where you are just consuming a fat in your coffee. So some people will actually do like a raw egg and blend it up in a blender and drink it. I don't recommend raw eggs. I've had some really bad experiences with that in the past. Yeah, and it's not pretty. So everyone's going to tolerate that differently, but as far as fats that you can add to the bulletproof fast, you can do coconut oil, MCT oil. That is what I primarily do. And then I also have my electrolytes in the morning. So I will do all of my electrolytes in the morning typically. So I'll drink water that has like salt in it, and I've talked about me drinking salt water before, but it really does help me, and it makes me feel a whole lot better, especially when I am coming into the latter part of my fast, and I'm feeling like I need a little bit more of a push to get me through. And so you have your electrolytes, and with your Bulletproof Fast, you can add the different fats. Some people use ghee, GHEE. Some people will do like a grass-fed butter. That's also something that I will do, or sometimes I'll do that with the coconut oil. And those are just a few basic examples, but there are some other things that you can do as well. So I'll talk about that more in the future as well. But anyhow, that's really about all I have to say on the intermittent fasting for today. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm in the process of moving right now, so I'm kind of a little bit like not quite as on point as I normally am, so I'm a little bit more rambly and a little bit more absent-minded, but I still want to put some videos out there when I'm able. So I am doing another car video today just because it's all I have time for, but I do want to put a little bit of information out there. So like I say, you know, this is a topic of discussion. It's gained so much popularity, this intermittent fasting, and so I figured, you know, I can do a video on it too. Why not? I do it too. So anyways, I'm not a guru for intermittent fasting, but this is just my experience, and this is just what I have to say about it. So we'll talk about it more in the future, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.